Good day everyone. Today we are going to discuss the project execution, monitoring, and controlling. The executing, monitoring, and controlling phases of the project management life cycle consist of completing and managing the required to meet the project objectives. This phase also ensures that the project performance is monitored and adjustments to the project schedules are made as needed. So what is project execution? It is the third phase of the project life cycle and one of the most vital of the project phases. During this phase, you will construct your deliverables and present them to your customer and key. This is usually the long phase of the project life cycle and predictably the most demanding. Managing people, following processes, and communicating information to all key stakeholders, sponsors, and team members. And these are the 8 tasks involved in project execution.
Execute project scope. A definition of the scope is an important aspect of the project execution plan. Defining the scope involves identifying and stating the project aims to do or accomplish in clear, specific terms. The project scope definition can provide stakeholders with a summary of the project's purpose and goals. Creating a scope definition involves taking a broad project objective and detailing all of the elements involved. These include project statement of work. A project statement of work can illustrate the roles and responsibilities of individual team members and highlight important elements that may affect the end result of the project. Limitations and boundaries. The scope may include the limitations and boundaries of the available resources or information and explain how this may impact the project outcome. Timeline and milestones. A team may also include the project timeline and milestones in the scope definition to ensure that they're meeting the appropriate deadlines and informing stakeholders about the duration of individual tasks. Final deliverables. The team may include the final deliverables in the scope definition. These can involve reports, products, services, or new software developments, and they identify what customers or stakeholders receive once the task is complete. Criteria for success. The scope may also incorporate a description of how the team plans to measure the success of the project and individual members of the project. This ensures that everyone has a thorough understanding of their expectations and receives recognition for important accomplishments. Manage your team. The objective of this activity is to follow up on the performance of project team members to ensure that the project performance is optimized. Besides, this activity concerns resolving issues, providing feedback, and managing team changes. This activity is vital to the project because it helps to appraise the performance of team members, resolve issues, manage conflict, and influence team behavior. As such, the project manager makes sure that the team members are performing their role correctly and as expected. The project manager intervenes whenever issues arise to help resolve them early on. In order to perform effectively, all the necessary resources are provided to the team members. Besides, the project manager makes sure that the optimal work is allocated to the team members. Make changes. The objective of this activity is to make sure that actual work on the project has started. Members of the project team implement the tasks and activities they have been assigned. In other words, the project plan is translated into action. The project manager oversees project works and ensures that all activities are executed according to the plan to guarantee project success. The activities detailed in the project plan are initiated and the project manager ensures that they are executed as planned. During this activity, the project manager references the project management plan to ensure that all activities, operations, processes, and tasks are executed as planned. Update stakeholders. This activity is absolutely necessary for every project because it boosts the support of the project by stakeholders and significantly reduces their resistance to the project. A great way to raise the possibility of achieving project success is to ensure that stakeholders are engaged and managed effectively. To effectively manage stakeholders' engagement, the project manager should consult the stakeholder management strategy to familiarize himself with the process for enhancing support from stakeholders and minimize the resistance. Communicating and working with stakeholders at every stage of the project is vital to make sure that their needs and expected outcomes are considered and satisfied. This involved providing updates on the project to the stakeholders and getting their input whenever it is needed. The issues that happen from time to time during the project execution should be notified to the stakeholders, and it is wise to seek their input when coming up with the most appropriate solution for the same. Conduct team building exercises. Team building is the process of creating a team that cohesively works together towards a common goal. The importance and main purpose of team building is to create a strong team through forming bonds and connections. Creating these bonds through team building is very beneficial to businesses and organizations. The benefits of team building include increased communication, planning skills, employee motivation, and employee collaboration. Fun activities that help people see each other in a different light allow them to connect in a different setting. People on your team are asked to think about the implications of these activities at their workplace. Celebrate milestone. Celebrating milestones at work should go beyond years of service and employee recognition programs. Establishing milestones and recognizing team achievements when they're met should also be a reason to celebrate. Remember to celebrate milestones as you prepare for the road ahead. This quote from Nelson Mandela should act as a reminder to take time to reflect and celebrate even the small victories. By establishing milestones and showing gratitude to your team, you can inspire your team to keep up the great work and push ahead to reach their ultimate goal. Celebrating milestones is important and shouldn't be just reserved for birthdays, weddings, and graduations. Milestones come in all shapes and sizes. Meet regularly. Meeting regularly are part and parcel of every organization. It's a way for employees to gather, exchange ideas, share feedback, and learn from each other. But team meetings also get a bad rep. Not everyone comes ecstatic to a meeting. Most of the time, employees even dread the thought of team meetings. But this is because they don't see the benefit of it, and it's probably because of how the meetings are held. When team members feel that their inputs are solicited and considered, it helps them value their job more. It also motivates them to contribute to the improvement of the team and the organization as a whole. This sense of belonging solidifies their place in the organization and helps them appreciate their work. Effective team meetings are a great channel for feedback and continuous improvement. Feedback is given instantaneously, and this open communication allows your team members to grow professionally. Team meetings are a great way to learn more about working with your team and how you can continuously improve. A team retrospective is a good example of such a meeting. It provides team to examine what's going well for them and what they can improve on. Document changes. Documenting changes is important because it ensures that you have the materials to review your work throughout the project. If there are project details that you want to know more about, such as the budget for different phases, you can easily identify and assess this information when you have organized the documentation. The following are some additional benefits of documenting changes. One is you can provide updates. Documenting changes improves overall transparency and ensures that all professionals are up to date on project changes. This is especially important when working with stakeholders who request regular updates on timelines, budgets, and deliverables and milestones. Second is you can identify smaller tasks. Using strong documentation strategies for projects allows you to identify primary tasks and phases associated with completing the project. Last, it promotes collaboration. It's important to document changes because it improves collaboration between colleagues regarding tasks. All professions can review the documents to inform each other of updates and ask each other questions.
Hi, I'm Dan Robert Ezabanes, and I'm here to discuss the strategic tips to improve project execution. So one, always begin with an end in mind. It is a good idea to consider aligning your strategy with the projected final outcomes because projects that are aligned to the strategy are 57% more likely to deliver their business benefit. They are also 50% more likely to finish the project on time and 45% more likely to stay within the business or project budget. 2. Gain buy-in from your core team. A well-defined project helps earn the buy-in from your team and stakeholders. Explaining the vision behind a strategic decision, give this core team a deeper understanding on how their knowledge and work continue or will continue to the larger whole. And for number 3, project leaders get their project across the finish line. To make sure strategies get put into motion, make sure you have the talent with the right project leadership skills to manage the project. And emotional intelligence and self-awareness continue to be the essential skill set for project leaders. Since emotional intelligence creates a positive working environment and can remove obstacles and help the people on the team to deliver the project successfully. And a project manager with a low self-awareness is like a person being handicapped. Without awareness, a project leader cannot make changes. And for number 4, you must build a high-performing team. This aims to build a highly qualified team that can help define the right strategies and alignments for your program and projects. Project leaders who can align their vision and work with their team will successfully deliver key programs and projects. And the alignment of vision and strategy to the implementation will help you close those gaps. For number 5, monitor progress and performance through accountability. Implementing any strategy involves meetings to discuss the various projects and programs that are required. Meetings are critical to helping bring together the focus in this phase to do the following. Manage people, follow processes, communicate information to all key stakeholders, sponsors, and team members. Meetings are a great way to solidify agreements, document actionable items, identify risk issues, and hold your team accountable to follow through to produce results. And last, keep the line of communication open throughout the project. Make sure to follow up before, during, and after meetings. Regarding outstanding action items, issues, and risks, avoid micromanaging and adjust your leadership style based on the situation and the team member.
What are hard skills? Hard skills, also known as technical skills, are technical knowledge or training that you have gained through any life experience, including in your career or education. For example, if you have worked in food service or retail, you may know how to use a point-of-sale system. If you have taken an accounting class, you may know how to use a Microsoft Excel. If you have studied a foreign language, you may be able to speak it fluently. Some of the most in-demand hard skills include bilingual or multilingual, database management, Adobe software, network security, statistical analysis, data mining, mobile development, user interface design, marketing campaign management, and programming languages such as Perl, Python, Java, and Ruby. What are soft skills? Soft skills are personal habits and traits that shape how you work on your own and with others. Soft skills are essential to your career and as you search for jobs. Soft skills are necessary to create a positive and functional work environment. For example, you may be seeking a job in human resources but lack prior knowledge of data analysis tools. If you have references that can attest to the effectiveness of your soft skills, an employer may choose you over another candidate whose hard skills are stronger but who lacks the same level of soft skills. Some of the most in-demand soft skills include integrity, dependability, effective communication, open-mindedness, teamwork, creativity, problem-solving, critical thinking, adaptability, willingness to learn, and empathy. Hard skills versus soft skills. What is the difference between hard skills and soft skills? Hard skills refer to the job-related knowledge and abilities that employees need to perform their job duties effectively. Soft skills, on the other hand, are the personal qualities that help employees really thrive in the business workplace. Defining hard skills versus soft skills. Hard skills are job-specific, relevant to each position and seniority level. In other words, each position in every company will require a unique hard skill list. For example, an accountant needs to know how to reconcile bank statements, while that knowledge is unnecessary for a developer. At the same time, reconciliation is important for an accountant no matter their level of experience. But preparing business budgets is a skill that's not usually required of a junior accountant. Soft skills are general characteristics relevant to personality traits. Some soft skills you would like to see in all employees, regardless of their position or expertise, while other soft skills make sense in certain jobs and are less important in others. For example, if you value collaboration in your company, you want to hire employees who are great team players and can communicate well with others. On the other hand, networking and relationship building skills is essential for sales and marketing roles, but irrelevant for engineering roles. Likewise, leadership abilities make sense for people who will manage a team no matter their department. Where do we develop hard skills and soft skills? Employees develop hard skills through education and on-the-job practice, while they develop soft skills through various lifelong professional and personal experiences. For example, marketers can learn marketing techniques and tools by attending a course where they could grow their collaboration skills by participating in a sports team. Measuring hard skills versus soft skills. Hard skills are measurable and can be described using numerical or yes or no criteria. On the other hand, soft skills are often intangible or hard to quantify and are usually described with qualitative skills. Evaluating hard skills versus soft skills. You can evaluate hard skills through resumes, portfolios, job-related assignments, and role-specific interview questions. On the other hand, soft skills are better assessed by asking situational interview questions, by using soft skills questions and tests, and by taking into account a candidate's overall personality characteristic as presented during the entire hiring process. These are the frequently asked questions. What is the difference between hard skills and soft skills? The main difference between hard skills and soft skills is how they are gained. Hard skills are usually trained or gained through some type of education. They can sometimes come with certifications. Soft skills, however, are developed skills. They can be trained but normally revolve around personality. Are hard skills more important than soft skills? No. All jobs need a mix of hard skills and soft skills. An engineer who has great technical abilities and a strong educational background but cannot work with a team or communicate properly isn't a good fit for the workplace. How can I measure hard skills and soft skills? Hard skills are easier to measure as they typically come with credentials, degrees, or certifications. You can measure hard skills through workplace statistics. Soft skills, however, can only be measured qualitatively. Listening to feedback from other employees of your clients can help measure soft skills.
10 ways of monitoring and controlling. First is to plan to monitor and control the project. This step will have already taken place during the planning process at the start of the project. Not only are the project schedule and overall project management plan put into place, so too is the performance measurement baseline. Every project member should be given an opportunity to contribute to the planning process. And every project member must be made aware of how progress will be measured. Second is to implement key performance indicators. As part of the planning process, KPIs must be established. During project execution, they will be used to measure performance against plan. Some key performance indicators that I have personally used include the following: time spent by individual tasks, estimated time to complete tasks being worked, on-time completion percentage, project expenditures to date. Estimate to complete and estimate K at completion. The expenditures to date plus the funds needed to complete the remainder of the project provide value of the project at completion. This is the compared to the overall project budget to determine where adjustments should be made if necessary. Earned value. Similar to the previous bullet, earned value is an indication of how much of the budget and time should have been spent in producing the amount of work completed to date. Schedule Performance Index or the SPI. The earned value divided by the planned value, an SPI of 1 or greater indicates the project is on track or ahead of schedule. Cost Performance Index or the CPI. Like SPI, the CPI is the earned value divided by the actual cost of the work performed. A CPI of 1 or greater indicates that the project is performing well against the budget. Number of defects. The number of software errors required to be fixed and retested. If the number of actual errors is significantly higher than the number of expected errors, this indicates that the testing will take longer than the expected. Employee turnover rate, an indication of employee satisfaction on the project. An overly high turnover rate can indicate the need to improve management practices. Employee billable utilization. Billable hours charged to project-related tasks compared to time available project work. This provides an indication of how much time employees are spending on an administrative task, thus diluting the overall project effort. Third is act on variances early. Significant negative variances requires corrective measures, and as one of my project managers once told me, projects never suddenly get behind schedule, they begin to slip 1 hour at a time. It is best to catch schedule slippage early and make necessary course corrections than to have to take major corrective action. Seasoned project managers understand the types of situations that cause project variances. They should therefore put preventative measures in place to avoid variances in the first place. Fourth is to monitor scope. It is important to have a well-defined, well-documented requirements definition to guide the scope for the duration of the project, especially with full-time client staff on the project. It is easy for the IT staff to make minor tweaks to the scope to make them happy. As noted earlier, projects slip 1 hour at a time, and often that slippage begins with these minor adjustments to scope. The project manager's greatest tool is the word no, and the project manager's second greatest tool is the change request form. Fifth is to maintain communication with stakeholders. Stakeholders have a vested interest in successful completion of the project for their organization. Project managers must be frequent and transparent communication with the stakeholders, and if there is project slippage, stakeholders should be informed, especially if their organization is the cause. And if the project is ahead of schedule, stakeholders should be informed. All approved change control and their effect on the project must be communicated, and above all, there should be no surprises. Sixth is manage the contract. Explicit requirements and approval conditions are established in the project management plan for every project deliverable, phase and gate review. And as the project progresses, it must be continuously monitored for adherence to the contract. Client acceptance must be obtained for every deliverable, gate review, and payment milestone. To manage quality expectations, project deliverables must be completed on time and to client expectations. Quality control must be put in place at the outset to help ensure that the quality expectations will be adhered to. On many of my projects, we prepared a deliverables expectation document for each formal work product. And these documents spelled out the purpose, content, format, and the medium for each deliverable. This set client expectations as to what they would receive before the deliverable was produced. 8 is to produce project status reports. Many of the projects on which I work required weekly, monthly, and even quarterly status reports. Often, different stakeholders requested different items and levels of detail on their versions of the status reports. Project status reports are a summation and explanation of the data gathered to report progress. Much of the effort to produce status reports is in developing the processes whereby the report can be collected efficiently and easily analyzed for the reports. 9 is to monitor and manage risk. Every identified risk must be categorized, assigned to an owner, and worked. Every status meeting and every status report must devote time to managing higher priority risk so that some project issues does not cause major problems for the project. 10th is to control project cost. Each of the preceding items influences project cost directly. Poor planning and lack of focus on KPIs, scope creep and poor quality, and risk events left unattended all contribute to the potential for a project to miss deadlines and go over budget. Not attentively monitoring and controlling these items will almost always result in a project.
Earned value, also known as budgeted cost of work performed, helps project managers measure a project's performance. It is the relationship between the budget and the percentage of completion of a project. It is a method used to calculate the health and status of any project by taking time and cost into consideration. So earned value can be computed this way. Earned value is equal to percent complete multiplied by task budget. For example, if the actual percent complete is 50% and the task budget is $10,000, then the earned value of the project is $5,000. 50% of the budget provided for this project. So, earned value is equal to 50% times $10,000 is equal to $5,000. After applying this method, the project manager should know whether the project is behind or ahead of schedule and whether the project is under or over budget.